I'm Bailey Bates. Here are your headlines from Central Texas. Governor Greg Abbott made a stop in Waco Wednesday to speak on his legislative achievements so far this year. The governor's office hosted its State of the State at the Baylor Club inside McLane Stadium, touching on several topics impacting Texans, including the state's historic investment in education, the new $146 billion plan for roads and infrastructure, and $20 billion for water, which will help power the state's power infrastructure and promote Texas as a hub for AI. So why did the governor choose Waco for the State of the State? Here's what he had to say.
Waco has a faster rate of growth of employment from June of last year to June of this year, faster than Austin, Houston, and Dallas. You can see that Waco is one of these substantial economic engines of the great state of Texas.
Governor Abbott praised the state as a whole, saying Texas ranks first in the nation for several titles, including most new jobs added, economic development projects, and exports. Meanwhile, outside of McLane Stadium, dozens of Central Texans gathered to protest what they called, quote, the terrible state of affairs in Texas. The protest was a direct response to Abbott's address and organized by several local groups. Reporter Sydney Walker spoke with protesters.
While Governor Greg Abbott gave his State of the State address, right outside, dozens were making their disappointment known.
We felt it would be very important for us to be here to let him know that we're not satisfied with the state of the state.
They said it was important to them that the governor and other Texas politicians listen to all Texans.
He's here to raise money from the Chamber of Commerce and do Republican spin and a fancy luncheon. We would like them to have conversations with everyday working citizens.
Protesters noted concerns with several state policies, like redistricting.
Right here in this area, people of color have been blocked out of representation at the state level.
Public education,
95–98% of students in this schools will never be able to afford culture.
Healthcare, and immigration.
Protect those who deserve protection, whether they are citizens or whether they're immigrants who are helping us keep this economy going.
The gathering comes amidst recent arrests by ICE in the Waco area, including Noe Guerrero, who remains in custody despite having his charges dropped and posting bail.
The rights that every person in the United States, citizen or not, is due process. And they're not getting it.
Their motivations were simple.
I would say to him, retire.
They want change.
People are taking another day to stand up for their values, stand up for good government, not corrupt government that addresses the people's needs, not the oligarchs' needs.
After the State of the State, the governor headed over to be with first responders to discuss emergency preparedness across the Lone Star State. This speech centered around legislative actions to improve disaster and emergency response and recovery as a result of July's catastrophic flooding. The Texas Firefighter Wildland Urban Interface hosted its Train the Trainer program. This included scenarios for first responders to protect Texans and their homes from urban wildfires. We spoke with the captain from the Austin Firefighter Wildlife Division, who shared with us what the training was all about. He says it's bridging the gap between firefighters to train a larger force to combat emergencies such as wildfires in urban areas. He also shared what homeowners are supposed to do in emergency situations.
Doing things like prepping your home ahead of the fire, making sure that your garden hoses are hooked up so that we can use them to suppress small fires around your house. But the biggest thing is people generally have a misconception that there are enough of us to be stationed at every single house, and that's just not a reality.
Governor Greg Abbott was also in attendance and spoke about one of his priority bills this special session, which addresses the Hill Country floods and the concerns of the Camp Mystic parents to help prevent further natural disaster tragedies. Abbott did address that there are needs across the state, like better early warning systems, improved communications, and funding resources for communities to rebuild. To hear more about Abbott's visit, you can go to KCENTV.com. Those are your headlines from Central Texas.